So my crypto journey didn't start out as conventional as everybody else's did. I got to a point where myself and my best friend were investing in the stock market and seeing a lot of gains through late 2020, started around October to all the way till February until the market crashed, and the stock market crashed.
Stop it. Get some help.
I made a ton of money and lost a ton of money in a very short period of time. In the previous video, I explained how I made 70K in the course of 3 months and lost 45 just a few months later.
Wait for it.
And it kind of brought me into my journey into crypto. So we're gonna take off from there, and I'll start the story off here. In the summer of 2021, Bitcoin, as we all know now, had a double top. It had a double top, I believe, in the late April, May-ish, if I can remember correctly. And it had another top in November. Right in between that time, probably late June, early July-ish, I didn't know what to do with my money. The stock market was red, and I didn't know where to park my money.
Number one rule of Wall Street: nobody, I don't care if you're Warren Buffett or if you're Jimmy Buffett, nobody knows if the stock is going to go up, down, sideways, or in circles. Least of all stockbrokers. Right? It's all a fugazi. You know what a fugazi is?
So it got to a point where I was looking for options. My best friend came to me because he met somebody who was telling him about all these things that are going on in crypto, and he was sold on the idea, I'm sure, because he got the information firsthand. I know the guy he was speaking to now, but at the time I didn't know who he was. He gave my best friend the information. He came back to me, pretty much did not instantly convince me to put our money into crypto, but at first, like, I was hesitant like anybody else. So it wasn't an easy choice for me because I've heard all the things that the media tries to tell you about crypto. And if you've never experienced that before, you tend to believe those things. So anyways, after a few weeks of some convincing, I decided to throw my money into the crypto markets. I went through crypto.com. I remember feeling a sense of nervousness because I wasn't sure what was going to happen. I took everything I knew from the stock market and applied it to crypto. So we were buying at a dip, and I thought to myself, okay, if this thing's going crazy, and it's supposed to be going crazy all this year, next year, and lo and behold, that paid off tremendously for us. So we ended up doubling our initial investment.
Oh my God! Wow!
2 times, and that is a laughable thing to think about now that I'm so deep into crypto. But at the time, it was a big move because you just don't get moves like that in the stock market often. So it's you got to find real narratives and get them before they pop, which is really hard in the stock market. It's a little easier in crypto. It's not by any stretch of the imagination easy, but it's easier than the stock market. So anyways, back to the story. At that time, when we doubled our money, it was about 12.5K that we had at the time, and we doubled that. I doubled that up to 24, and we took that money. We actually ended up gaining profit, so we sold and we gained a lot of profit. It was weird because just a few moments after that, and this is probably now taking us closer to August, middle of August or so, that same friend that told my best friend about crypto put us on something called UNCX, but at the time it was called Unicrypt, and the ticker symbol was different. He was investing in new meme coins, degen to the max, like fully degening. He was making a lot of money. Like, I'm talking a boatload of money doing that.
What I found in my pocket, look, a year's salary right here. What I call them? Fun coupons.
He had built an account up from, I believe, a couple thousand to 50K, all the way up to a couple 100,000 just using that platform alone. And at the time, I didn't know what he was doing, but I soon came to find out that they were called launch pads. Now, he was gracious enough to sit down on an hour call with us and explain to us how launch pads worked. He was only familiar with one launch pad at the time, and that was Unicrypt. So he wasn't even too familiar with the word launch pad, but he found a platform that was giving him substantial returns, and that's what led him to continue the journey and the process of investing. He explained to us what a MetaMask was. He explained to us what a Zerion was. He explained to us what a Launchpad was, or at least what Unicrypt did. And then we took it upon ourselves to go onto YouTube. And I remember just searching through YouTube, watching video after video after video, trying to understand crypto as a whole, because at this point, I was still only invested in crypto.com and a few blue chips, right? I wasn't investing in anything crazy. So after doing a bunch of research and learning about a bunch of different things in crypto, I come across a influencer. I won't name his name here, but I come across an influencer, and he has a video that entices me. And by the end of the video, he was directing me to his course. And around this time, he was just starting out his course, and there was only about less than 100 members, or maybe around 100 members. Now he's like out the water. But anyways, this person had an entire course teaching about launchpads. And as soon as I saw that, I went and bought his course. I think at the time I paid like $295 US for it, and I'm here in Canada, so that was like $3 something for us. I blitzed through the course, finished the course in like maybe 5 to 7 days, something like that. And I gave the course to my best friend, and he did the course as well. And we ended up putting our money together and getting into a tier. That's what they call it in launchpads, is a tier system, where the more tokens you hold, the higher the tier you gain, and the higher tier you gain, the more you're allowed to allocate to new projects that haven't even hit the public market yet. If you ever experienced being a venture capital angel investor or a accredited investor in this regular stock market, this is very similar to that, to where new projects need funding, and we as the launchpad participants are funding these projects before they go out on the public market. And you know very well as I know that when you get into companies before they hit the public market, and they do very well once they reach the public market, once they IPO, that you can make some serious money.
Tell them to bring me my money.
In crypto, we're talking like top of the market times, all the FOMO in the world. So pretty much every single project that was getting launched on these launch pads were literally 100xing, 500xing, even 1000xing, even 1400xing. So we ended up finding something very, very lucrative and telling our friend about it, because he was only on Unicrypt at the time, and he ended up taking the information and making a lot of profits as well. So there was a point in time where we got into the lowest tier list of the launch pad that we were in, called ETH pad, and it was silver tier. At the time, it cost around 25K to get in. We ended up making a killing. First month, we made 8.3K. The next month, we made close to 12K. And this continued all the way into December. And then when this was happening, at the moment, you're just so happy that you found something that works so well for you as far as making money and gaining passive income. But you start to think about, okay, if I can get into the highest tier of this launchpad, and then I can get into another launchpad platform and get into that highest tier, or at least a tier, and repeat that process, take the funds that I'm getting from here and continue that process, you start to see how the zeros really add up. So one of the main ways people make a lot of money in crypto is getting in early, whether that's through ICOs, launch pads are another great way to get in early. Obviously, I'm explaining it to you. Point I'm trying to make is getting in first is the most important thing when it comes to making money in crypto, whether that be narrative driven, new projects, whatever the case may be. Get in first, be first, and you will make a ton of money. And launch pads give you that opportunity, and they not only give you that opportunity once in a while, they give you that opportunity over and over and over again. But yes, I digress. That is the reason why it is so crucial to get into these launch pads. There's a lot to be learned in the story, so a lot of ups and downs, because the year prior, you couldn't tell me that the stock market wasn't the best way to make money when it comes to finance. I'm not saying that from a risk aspect, because depending on your risk tolerance will depend on what asset class you generally flow into, whether that's real estate, stocks, or crypto, or whatever else, commodities, and there's a list of things, Forex and things like that. But it opened my eyes to the potentials of crypto, and it changed my whole thought process and how I need to be generating wealth. And as I learned more about crypto and the security side and the aspects of things and things were happening, that the problems they were trying to solve with our current financial system, it only led me deeper down the rabbit hole. Launch pads are one of the best ways in crypto to gain passive income and ultimately generate life-changing wealth. And this is the best time to get into launchpads and get into new projects in general, even if they ICO off of a DEX launching or things like that. So don't waste a second, and I hope to see you in there soon.